I just wanted to feel alive. She shrieked after cheating on our vacation, so I flew home alone and sold her, alive, self's furniture. Now she's homeless, and I'm planning a real trip. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, throwaway for obvious reasons. I'm a 29-year-old software developer, and until a couple months ago, I thought I had a pretty solid life. Stable job, decent apartment in the city, and a girlfriend of 3 years named Zoe. We met in college. She was this vibrant art major who always talked about chasing dreams and living without regrets. I was the practical one, the guy who made sure bills were paid and plans were in place. Looking back, I realized I was basically her safety net while she flirted with the idea of excitement without ever committing to it. From the start, I was all in. Zoe had a rough patch after graduation, lost her entry-level graphic design gig during the pandemic, struggled with freelance work that never quite took off. I covered her share of rent more times than I can count, even when it meant dipping into my savings. Flashback to last year. She was depressed, scrolling through social media, envying all these influencers jetting off to exotic places. I surprised her with a weekend getaway to a nearby beach town, just the two of us. She lit up, called me her rock. We talked about the future, maybe getting engaged someday, building a life where she could pursue her art without worrying about money. I believed it. Hell, I sacrificed my own hobbies for it. I used to hike every weekend, but those turned into gallery visits or helping her with portfolio shoots. I didn't mind. Loyalty meant showing up, right? But there were cracks. Over the past year, Zoe started pulling away emotionally. She'd make these offhand comments comparing me to other guys. Look at that adventurer on Instagram. He's living, not just existing, she'd say while we were curled up watching Netflix. Or during dinners with friends, she'd laugh about how predictable our routine was, like it was a joke. I brushed it off as her quirky sense of humor, but it stung. She'd flirt a bit at parties, nothing overt, but enough to make me question if I was enough. I confronted her once, gently, and she dismissed it. Babe, you're overthinking. I just like people watching. Deep down, I felt like a backup plan, but I stayed committed. Poured more into us to fix it. That's why I planned this group vacation. It was meant to be a reset. 6 of us total. Me, Zoe, our mutual friends Mike and his girlfriend Sarah, they're solid, been together forever, and another couple, Jen and Tom, who we met through work happy hours. I booked a week at this tropical resort, vague spot with beaches, pools, and all-inclusive vibes. It wasn't cheap. I covered most of Zoe's costs since her freelance was spotty. This is our chance to feel alive, I told her as we packed. She grinned and kissed me, saying, finally, some adventure. The group was excited too. We had a group chat buzzing with memes and itineraries. I pictured lazy days by the pool, nights dancing, maybe even a quiet moment where I'd hint at rings. Stupid, in hindsight. We flew out, and the first couple days were magic. Snorkeling, group dinners, Zoe and I stealing kisses under palm trees. She seemed happy, posting selfies of us with captions like, "Paradise with my favorite." But by day 3, things shifted. Zoe started hanging out more at the resort bar without me. I'd wake up to her slipping back into the room late, smelling like rum and sunscreen. Just chatting with the locals, she'd say, brushing it off. Our friends noticed too. Mike pulled me aside once, asking if everything was cool. I shrugged it off, not wanting to ruin the vibe. But inside, confusion brewed. Why was she distancing herself here, of all places? This trip was for us. Then came the bombshell. It was midway through the week, a sunny afternoon by the main pool. The group was lounging, beers in hand, music blasting. Zoe had vanished earlier, saying she was grabbing a drink. Hours passed. Jen texted the group chat. Anyone seen Zoe? She's not answering. I try not to panic, but my gut twisted. Finally, around sunset, she strolled back, arm in arm with this random guy from the resort. Tall, tanned, with that effortless vacation charm, probably mid-30s, looked like he lived out of a backpack. Our friends went silent. I felt the air suck out of my lungs. She didn't even look guilty. Plopped down on a lounger next to me, still giggling from whatever they'd been up to. The guy, let's call him Jake, hovered awkwardly before wandering off after a nod from her. What's up? She asked the group casually, like nothing happened. Sarah broke the ice. Zoe, what the hell? You've been gone all day. Zoe rolled her eyes, then turned to me with this smug smile. That's when she launched into it, right there in front of everyone. No privacy, no remorse, just pure dismissal. She leaned back, sipping her drink, and said, "Okay, fine, let's address the elephant. Alex, I hooked up with Jake last night. And today, it just happened." The words hit like a slap, but she kept going, her voice rising like she was delivering some profound TED talk. Life is short, you know? I shouldn't be tied down. We've been together forever, and it's comfortable, but comfort isn't living. Jake gets that. He's free, spontaneous. He makes me feel alive, not just settled. I stared at her, the confusion turning to a dull ache in my chest. Our friends shifted uncomfortably. Mike muttered something under his breath. But Zoe wasn't done. She waved her hand dismissively. "Don't look at me like that. This isn't about you being a bad guy. You're great, reliable, sweet. But I need more. Experiences, passion. Remember how I always talk about not regretting things? Well, tying myself to one person forever? That's a regret waiting to happen." Jake and I clicked instantly. He's staying here a few more days, so I'm going to crash with him. You guys can enjoy the rest of the trip without the drama. Jen jumped in, voice sharp. "Zoe, that's messed up. We all came here together." "And Alex," Zoe cut her off, smirking. "Oh, come on, Jen. Don't be dramatic. Alex will be fine. He's always fine. This is my life, my choice. I deserve to chase what excites me, not play house forever." She turned back to me, her tone twisting into that manipulative edge she pulled out sometimes. "Babe, you get it, right? We've grown apart. You're all about stability, job, routine. But me? I want fireworks. Jake's got that. It's not cheating if it's fate or whatever. Life's too short to settle for safe." The hypocrisy burned. Settle? I'd given up safe to support her dreams, but now I was the boring one. Flashback hit me hard. Months ago, when she was broke and crying over rejections, I held her and said, "We'll get through this together." Now, here she was, shredding it all publicly. The group chat blew up silently on our phones, Sarah texting me, "WTF, Alex?" But Zoe just kept justifying, her logic looping like a bad script. "Think about it. If I stayed, I'd resent you eventually. This way we both win. You find someone who wants your kind of life, and I get to breathe. No hard feelings." Tom tried to mediate. "Zoe, at least talk to him privately. This is humiliating." She laughed, actually laughed. "Humiliating? Please. Alex isn't the dramatic type. He'll understand. Right, Alex? Say something." I sat there, the unfairness sinking in like quicksand. Part of me wanted to yell, to demand why after everything I'd sacrificed. But I didn't. I looked her in the eye, voice steady despite the storm inside. "If that's what you want, then go. No begging, no outburst. Just detachment." She blinked, like she expected a fight. But I stood up, grabbed my towel, and walked back to the room. The silence behind me was deafening. That night, she didn't come back. Texts from friends poured in, outrage, support. "Mike, dude, she's out of line. We're here for you." But Zoe? Nothing. She posted a story from Jake's room, some vague quote about seizing the moment. I lay awake, the betrayal replaying. How could she discard me like that, after I'd been her anchor? The confusion gnawed. Was I really that forgettable? But as the hours ticked, a quiet resolve settled. This wasn't my mess to fix. I booked a solo flight home the next morning, left a note for the group, heading back early. Enjoy the sun. No drama, just distance. On the plane, the emotional weight hit full force. I scrolled through old photos, us laughing at holidays, me surprising her with art supplies. All that loyalty flushed away for a fling. It felt so undeserved, so cruel. But I didn't spiral. Instead, I started planning. By the time I landed, I decided, no confrontation, just detachment. I called a moving company, packed her stuff into storage, paid the first month as a final courtesy, and changed the locks. Her key friends? I'd deal with that later. For now, I needed space to breathe. Back home, the silence in our apartment was deafening. No more of her scattered art supplies or half-finished canvases cluttering the living room. I'd boxed it all up methodically that first day, clothes, books, even the coffee mug I'd bought her on our first anniversary. The movers were efficient, By evening, her stuff was in a storage unit across town. I texted her the access code and address. Nothing more. Your things are here. First month paid. No emotion, no accusations. Just facts. Then I changed the locks, not out of spite, but to protect my peace. She didn't deserve a key to my life anymore. I didn't spiral into anger or self-pity, though the temptation was there. Instead, I sat with it. The betrayal, the confusion, the sheer unfairness. Why me? I'd been the one holding things together, sacrificing weekends to help with her portfolio, even co-signing a loan for her art classes when her credit was shot. Flashback to 6 months ago. She was stressed about a deadline, so I stayed up late formatting her submissions while she slept. "You're my hero," she'd whispered then. Now, I was the villain for being safe. It hurt, deep in a way that made my chest tight. I wandered the empty rooms, replaying her poolside speech. Life is short. I shouldn't be tied down. The hypocrisy gnawed at me. She'd been happy to tie me down as her financial crutch. But I didn't call her. Didn't post vague rants online or vent to mutuals beyond the basics. Mike and Sarah checked in via text. We're flying back early too. Zoe's being an ass. They filled me in on the resort fallout. Apparently, she'd spent the rest of the trip glued to Jake, ignoring the group, even skipping a planned excursion we'd all paid for. Jen and Tom were pissed. The vibe turned toxic. "She's acting like it's her solo honeymoon," Sarah said in a voice note. I appreciated the support, but I kept my responses short. "Thanks. Handling it." Inside, the emotional middle stretched out like a fog. Days blurred, work from home, gym sessions to burn off the restlessness, late nights staring at the ceiling. Was I naive for trusting her? The silence amplified the doubts, but it also cleared space. I started reclaiming my time, signed up for a hiking group, dusted off my old camera. Small steps, but they felt like breathing again. A week passed before reality caught up with her, I guess. The group returned, and that's when the karma started rolling in, slow at first, then like a tidal wave. From what Mike pieced together, he stayed neutral-ish at first. Jake ghosted her the second his flight landed. Turned out he was just a vacation bro from some Midwest town, not the free spirit she'd romanticized. No calls, no texts, blocked her on everything after a quick, fun times, but back to reality. She tried playing it cool in the group chat, posting Valkyrie glow fading, LOL, but the cracks showed. Then she got home, or tried to. Our apartment key didn't work, obviously. She blew up my phone that night, but I'd already muted her. The next day, Sarah filled me in. Zoe showed up at their place, fuming about the locks, demanding my number unblocked. But the real hit? Our friends turned on her. Jen and Tom, who'd witnessed the poolside humiliation, called her out in the chat. "You embarrassed all of us, Zoe." Ditching the group for a fling? Classy. Mike admitted even he was done defending her after she tried guilting him. "You guys are overreacting. It's not like I murdered someone." Word spread. Mutual acquaintances from her art circle heard about the public betrayal and distanced themselves. "No one wants drama like that," Sarah said. Worse for her, work imploded. She'd no-showed freelance deadlines during the extended stay with Jake, and her main client dropped her. Bills piled up. Turns out, she'd been relying on my half of everything. Without me, she was scrambling, crashing on her sister's couch in the suburbs. Isolated, broke, reputation in tatters. It was ironic, almost poetic. Her quest to feel alive left her more stuck than ever. I didn't gloat, just observed from afar, focusing on my own arc. The fog lifted gradually. I landed a side project at work, started planning a solo backpacking trip. Life without her baggage. Liberating. The reconciliation attempts started subtle, then snowballed into desperation. First came the texts, a day after she discovered the storage unit. My phone buzzed late at night. "Alex, WTF? You moved my stuff? That's low. We need to talk." I didn't respond. Then calls, voicemails piling up. "Hey, it's me. Look, vacation was a mistake. Jake was nothing, just a fling. Can we meet? I miss our place." Her voice cracked a bit, but it was laced with that same entitlement, like I'd just roll over. When ignoring didn't work, she roped in her toxic crew. Her best friend Mia, always the enabler, the one who'd egged on Zoe's live free rants, texted me next. "Alex, Zoe's really sorry. She knows she screwed up. Give her a chance to explain. You two were good together. I replied curtly, not interested. Mia doubled down in a call the next evening. I picked up, figuring it'd shut her up. Alex, come on, Mia started, her tone dripping with fake concern. Zoe's crashing at her sister's. It's a mess. That Jake guy ditched her. Total jerk. She realizes now how stable you were. Isn't that worth talking about? I kept my voice even. Mia, she made her choice. Publicly. She huffed. God, you're being so stubborn. It was just a vacation thing. Life's short, people make mistakes. She's crying every night. Her sister's yelling at her too. Emma thinks you overreacted with the storage. Tell Zoe to handle her own business, I said, and hung up. That lit the fuse. Zoe's next attempt was a barrage of messages, escalating from pleading to pissed. Fine, ignore me. But you can't just erase me like this. I helped make that apartment home. Then, please, Alex. I'm sorry. Jake was an idiot. I see that now. Let's grab coffee. I need my stuff back, and us. Hypocrisy at its finest. Now she wanted stability after torching it. A few days later, her sister Emma got involved, showing up unannounced at my work's coffee shop downstairs. I guess Zoe fed her the address. Emma's always been unpleasant, the type to bulldoze conversations. She cornered me during lunch break. Alex, this is ridiculous, she snapped, arms crossed. Zoe's my sister, and you're treating her like trash. Moving her out without warning? That's theft-level petty. It's not theft, I replied calmly, sipping my coffee. Her stuff's safe. She can get it anytime. Emma leaned in, voice rising. She told me everything. How you were boring her. But now she's the villain? Grow up. She wants to come back, fix things. You owe her that much after 3 years. I met her glare. I don't owe her anything. She chose Jake, remember? Life's short. You're heartless, Emma spat. She's broke because of this. Friends ditched her, job's gone. Help her out, at least. That's on her. I said firmly, standing up. Tell her to stop sending people. It's over. I walked away, heart pounding but composed. Her attempts were revealing true colors, anger bubbling under the desperation. The peak came via the group chat, where mutual friends tried mediating. Sarah initiated. Zoe's asking us to talk to you, Alex. She's desperate. Zoe jumped in. Guys, please. Alex, I know I hurt you. But I was stupid. Jake ghosted me, and now I'm seeing how good we had it. I'll change. No more flings, promise. Can we meet? I love you. Jen replied first. Zoe, you humiliated him in front of us. Own it. The chat turned against her, friends exposing her hypocrisy. Zoe lashed out. Screw you all. Alex, if you ignore this, you're proving you're the boring one. I deserve better than this silence. I left the chat without a word. Her desperation had flipped to rage, just as predicted. It confirmed everything. I was done. The final nail came 2 weeks later. I'd just wrapped a productive day, nailed that side project, booked my solo trip to the mountains. Felt evolved, emotionally free. No more vulnerability, just clarity. That's when the pounding started at my door, late evening. Alex, open up. I know you're in there. Zoe. I sighed, peering through the peephole. She looked wrecked, disheveled hair, red eyes, clutching a duffel bag like a lifeline. Neighbors might hear. Better handle it quick. I opened the door a crack, chain on, looking at her with pure disgust. No pity, no softening. What the hell, Alex? She shrieked, voice cracking. You ruined my life. Storage? Locks. I came back from vacation to nothing. Jake ditched me. Friends hate me. I'm crashing on couches. Homeless, basically. How could you do this after everything? I stared her down, voice blunt and cold. You did that yourself on vacation. Now get off my property before I call the police. Her face twisted, shock, then fury. That's it. No sorry. No talk. I said I'm sorry. It was a mistake. Life's short. I got carried away. But you're acting like I don't matter. You don't, I said flatly. Not anymore. I've moved on. Built something better without your drama. She pounded the doorframe. Bullshit. You sold my furniture? Mia said you did to spite me? I need a place, Alex. Let me in. We can fix us. Didn't sell it. I corrected, though the irony hit. I donated a few pieces she never liked, but no need to explain. It's in storage. Go get it. But us? Over. You're irrelevant now. Tears streamed, but her hypocrisy shone through. Irrelevant. After 3 years? You're disgusting. I thought you loved me. Get out. I repeated, slamming the door. She banged a few more times, yelling obscenities, but I called building security. They escorted her off. Blocked her everywhere after that. No more attempts. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.